The SMARTfit technology uses the adaptive capacity model to deliver its training. This is more consistent with how we evolved. When you think about how we've been functioning in life, we put our minds to something and then we throw our bodies at it until we develop the skill to do it. Then with practice, we get better. So basically, how we evolved was whether we were pursuing safety or food or shelter, whatever it was, we would put our minds to it. And that would involve executive functioning demands like problem solving, cognitive flexibility, decision making, and planning. And then we would throw our bodies at it until we got the skill to do it. And with more practice, we got better. And so the better we were, the better we survived. So when you transfer that over to how we train in sports, it's a very similar thing. And that is, if you consider a person taking a ball down the field, the first thing they have to do is understand the game, understand the rules of the game, and the objectives of the game. So in football, it might be I have to take the ball down and score a goal. And so I'm making decisions. I'm taking in everything that's going on around me. I know where my opponents are and where my teammates are. And I'm constantly evaluating what I am seeing and making strategic decisions on how to execute physical skills. Let's think about what's been going on for the last 250 years since the start of the Industrial Revolution. We've been creating machines to do this for us. And we've been moving more and more to operators of the machines, whether it's a big tractor or a horse and cart or a computer, whatever it is, we now have trained machines to do all of this engagement that is so deeply embedded in our DNA. So the question is, what are the consequences of this kind of change to how we engage in life and with the world? And how long is it going to take for our DNA to catch up with this change in evolution? This kind of DNA change takes hundreds and maybe thousands of years to accomplish. In my opinion, what I'm seeing, and I started to see that right from the beginning in my early days as a school teacher, sitting people down does not work effectively. It is probably one of the hardest ways to train anybody, to teach anybody. We're mostly kinesthetic learners. When we engage our body in the learning process, we know how to make this work. And the science is solid about this. Executive functioning, decision-making, and attention in a dual task with a motor activity is proven scientifically to produce the fastest transference to real-life activities. So SMARTfit also considers another factor, and that is the importance of engaging people with exercise. The importance of that relates to the more you can engage the decision-making part, I would say even the ego in achieving and goals to achieving, want to achieve, the more you can do that, the higher the degree of activity that happens in the executive function domain. So it's really important that we engage people in proactive activity rather than passive. One of the keys to this is the gamification of the activities. If you gamify them, there's a much higher intensity of play, and we'll get to that a bit later. Now, how do you create an environment where the human is the input device and the technology is getting the person to be that input device in a way that develops skill? The way we've accomplished it is we've created a technology that presents the information. Now, how does it work? Well, similar to the PC platform, which you'll see on the left, we have computers, different kinds of computers for different kind of operations. We have an operating system. We have Microsoft Windows, and then we have Microsoft applications, Microsoft Office. And within Office, we have further applications like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, etc. Now, in a similar way, we've created a platform that is specifically focused on high performance training. And we did that by creating our own operating system that can present information to a wide number of targets, which are also computers in themselves that have their own display. And so we have had to develop multiple operating systems that are all merged together. High-speed communications, when we look at that, we're talking about the fastest athletes on earth, fastest reaction speed. I understand it to be about 0.3 seconds. So for us to be able to deploy input to a person at faster than the fastest athlete, we're looking at 0.1 to 0.2 seconds. So that's a very, very fast requirement to deliver 360-degree input to get that person to react appropriately. So we also want to have sound input. So we have the sound system, which is the interactive audio, and then we have a sensing system tied to the targets. So the targets are not only computers presenting information to the person, but they also include a sensing system that is identifying which target got hit when and how hard, okay? And then, of course, on the front of the computers, each target has a display, interactive display, which is presenting the problem and then sending the results back to the main computer. And this is all happening at the fastest speed of the fastest athlete. So when we look at the SMARTfit operating system, we have a series of systems, the mini series for high cognitive, trainer series for sports, athletics, and then the strike pods, which provide a 360-degree environment that can work with the panel systems or without. Pretty exciting product in itself. Our applications appear as modes. And when you buy a system, a SmartFit system, you have to decide what mode do you want. Rehab mode includes thousands of how-to videos and applications with reporting, data tracking, etc., that cover everything from neuro, ortho, return to sport, pediatrics, balance and vestibular, assisted and independent wellness programs. So that's an exciting component. If you're interested in those programs, then you would consider purchasing the rehab mode, including the testing, dual task cost testing, which includes also high cognitive training, where you can actually track cognitive performance, and then the dual task, which is cognitive and motor performance combined together. And that would involve measuring the loss of performance when you put a motor and a cognitive task together. That loss of performance is going to be an indicator of cognitive decline, physical decline, fall risk. The performance mode is more about helping well people get better and get great. Okay, so the systems here will be more the trainer systems, the pro trainers, the multi-trainers, and the strike pods. But the software in there, active aging, great software, a great programming in there for active aging, sports performance and tactical training, military, and then general fitness. And then we have another mode, which is we call the education mode, that covers content for kids and early childhood development, youth recreation, PE, school sports. It's loaded with kids programs. And the next section I'm going to cover is the gamification. So this is the power of the SmartFit system, our game of games explained. And what you see here is we have, I believe right now there's 17 folders of games, and within each folder there are multiple games. And all up, we're looking at close to 60 different games. Each one of them has a different purpose. So low cognitive, high motor skills game folder, that would be our rally wall, our lights out, the track, the left, right, both, crossing hemispheres, chase games, go, no go, reaction games like that. Those are pretty cool, a lot of fun, fast moving, and really good for group training, skills, kids, etc. Then we move to what we call our high cognitive games, and these involve a lot more cognitive demand. So they play more slowly because you're integrating the cognitive processing at a higher degree along with a motor activity. Okay, so the multiple choice games, metronome is fabulous, pattern recognition is fabulous for working memory development. Stroop, again, high cognitive, very high functioning cognitively, but needs to develop their motor control, motor system, or just their balance between motor and high cognitive. So these are fun games, very demanding. Flanker is great for sports and executive function and attention, reaction skills, stuff like that. Horsey block is, again, that's a tough one, but I love it because you just get so challenged to want to get better. Trail making A, trail making B, digit span forward, digit span backwards, great games. Serial sevens, another high cognitive game, counting backwards with the motor activity. It's tough. The memory pairs, there's, I think, half a dozen games in there alone. Pairing, another half a dozen games. Memory sequence, one of my favorite. I love that suite because you get a number or a letter and you have to solve the puzzle quickly. And you're developing motor skills while you're solving the puzzle, and your memory, working memory, it's just fun. Equations are super great for absolutely everybody. Just learning to do calculations, do the equations from memory, and working memory. And so it's multiplication, square roots, squares, division, subtraction, addition. These are great games. And then finally, we have spelling. You can upload any word list and play ball while you learn the spelling words of the week. It's really a wonderful way to learn a language, but it's also a great way for kids to learn the words of the week that they have to learn for school. So this is just an overview of the games. And then, of course, you can go to our website and download the list, and the games are explained in full detail there. And then finally, I think it's really important for us to look at comments by clinical experts. Out of the love of what they see and etc., they have freely given us these beautiful comments. You can go to the website and just scroll down. These experts have been very generous with the company in sharing the reasons why they purchased our product.
Hi, I'm Martin Teicher. I'm a MD, PhD, and I'm a director of the Developmental Biopsychiatry Research Program at McLean Hospital and on the faculty of Harvard Medical School. And I'm here at SMARTfit and becoming a member of the Scientific Advisory Board for the company. And I'm very interested in the technology that they've produced. This is an incredibly well-engineered and designed machine that can basically mimic any kind of neurocognitive test. But it also brings in the capacity to get whole body movements and exercise in conjunction with it. So you can look at dual task performance, you can look at how much that alters cognitive ability by moving. So it has real potential as an assessment tool for alterations in neurocognitive function, and it has enormous potential as a treatment or rehabilitation device in which you can combine exercise, attention, cognitive testing, and have fun while doing it, which will make it work so much better than other alternatives.
SmartFit can improve executive functioning better than physical exercise alone or cognitive alone through dual tasking. The research supports that. And we also know if we improve executive functioning, that generalizes to things that have never been trained, and including activities of daily living that can maximize independence and quality of life. That's it. But here's a goal. If we can delay dementia by 4 years, it's predicted that we will cut the incidence, the number of cases in the US, in half. The other thing, kind of at a really high level, we have 20 years of research, some of that research I've done myself, showing that cognitive stimulation can improve, and this is actually the key. If you really want to know what's happening in the brain, it improves executive functioning, and that includes your ability to pay attention, your ability to inhibit behavior, thoughts, problem-solving, reasoning. And here's the deal. This is 20 years of research summarized. If you can improve executive functioning, that generalizes or transfers to things that have never been trained.
It truly is my pleasure to be involved with this company, both looking at the research and development and truly the clinical application that we've been able to do. As you can see on this slide, my primary investment and role has been in developing our dual task games and our dual task testing. Dual task is the most widely studied unifying topic in rehabilitation. Now, as I was suggesting to you, this will be a little bit of a shocker for you. You'll see that if you just go to the same site, National Library of Medicine, and look at dual task, you'll notice here that down in the left-hand corner, I think you'll be able to populate the slide with the animation that I created. Just go to next here. Yeah, there we go. And then now you just type in dual task, go ahead and advance again. Now you'll see there's 10,500 results across all of just the evidence-based citations in the National Library of Medicine. So these are all just peer-reviewed journals. These are not magazine articles. Now give me another advance here. If you look down here, that hockey stick of growth from about 2016 all the way to where we are in 2023. Now do one more slide advance and you'll see something very remarkable. The top citation just came out the day before yesterday, and that one, the first one that comes up, is not talking about rehabilitation of stroke, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, concussion, all the places that we could. But the top one that just came out was return to sport decision-making after an anterior cruciate ligament reconstruction. So you could be a major league soccer player and know that the evidence says you must use dual tasking to get yourself back on the field after a primary ligament in your knee has been reconstructed.
My name is Dr. Chris Powers. I'm the owner of the Movement Performance Institute. Our specialty is really training corrective movement mechanics in athletes. We use SMARTfit quite a bit in the end of our rehab program, where we're really trying to get movement behavior to become more automatic. In the past, we rely heavily on feedback to train corrective movement patterns. But what we've really been missing is really making this movement more automatic and really practicing the correct movements while the patient is thinking about something else.
It would be great if we had a technology, a turnkey solution, if you will, to provide strength, balance, neuromotor, cognitive, aerobic, all in one. And this is what SMARTfit, I believe, can do. And this is what we found at our facility, is that we can facilitate all of these modalities through a single technology. And of course, this SMARTfit has various different types of products that allow you to facilitate it. But at its core, multimodal training that incorporates cognitive load is available. And there's turnkey programming in the system that SMARTfit, myself, and other experts have built to actually deliver what I've been showing here and here in a turnkey program via an application that controls these different systems.
SMARTfit is a smart choice. I really enjoy this tool. I use it every day with almost all of my patients. I use it for patients of all age groups. My youngest right now, my kiddo is 7. My oldest is 70. And I've used it for anywhere in between as well. So I think it's just so versatile in that way. It maximizes my ability to treat in that time. And using the SMARTfit, it's as simple as just utilizing my iPad with the screen and trying to change things up right there as I go. I keep it fun, I keep it light, it's exciting, and it kind of gives the patient a little bit of insight into how they're doing, because you can show how they performed one day to the next.
So basically, as I said, my work is really focused on developing usable, feasible, and appealing and engaging and effective community-based interventions to improve cognition in older adults. So this particular intervention was, we called it Think Fit, and it is a community-based dual task intervention. And we used, obviously, SMARTfit to deliver the dual task training. The idea was really to engage in this idea of dual task training or simultaneous cognitive and motor training. It was group-based. We implemented it with within a YMCA within the city of Buffalo, and it included 10 older adults who were 68 to 85 years of age with mild cognitive impairment. It was a 12-week intervention, and we were focused on improving balance, walking speed, attention, task switching, and interference inhibition. I think it's important to understand that with SMARTfit, and I'll talk a little bit about this in a moment, but their efforts to not only train individuals, but to assess their cognitive function using SMARTfit is revolutionary, because it takes into consideration the fact that most of the things that we have to accomplish in our lives require multitasking. And so to assess one domain of cognition, for example, attention, well, you might play Lumosity or one of these other canned brain training games that exist, or these little apps that exist, but they only improve that one domain. It's very clear that SMARTfit has the potential to improve multiple domains and our ability to multitask, which is critical to managing and navigating our lives, especially as we get older.
So I'm so excited to talk about SMARTfit. This is not a forced marketing campaign. This is something I wanted to do because I just love this training that TJ gave us. I thought it was the best training I've ever received on a new product that is the most interesting and stimulating activity that I could introduce to the Marines. I'm so excited to use it. My name is Shelley Lamy, and I'm a human performance trainer for the Marine Corps. This system is going to, I really feel, benefit Marines, athletes, seniors, all levels of civilians on this base. It will enhance their skill level. It's fun, it's exciting. The amount of things we could do with it was amazing. On top of that, all of the different strength, agility, dynamic balance, functional movement, concentration, brain activity, reaction. This is so much fun. The skill level is unbelievable. The Marines love it. We did some playing with them, and I intend to use this for every type of training principle and protocol there is.
I'm Gunnar Peterson. I'm a personal trainer in Beverly Hills, California. I've been doing this for 29 years, and I've been working with professional athletes for 25 years. SMARTfit is the next big thing in fitness because it has a universal appeal and it incorporates the brain and the body. So SMARTfit, while it can challenge you physically, can also challenge you from a cognitive standpoint. So you're making better decisions under pressure. Obviously that translates to sports, but it can also translate to the workplace. Mental acuity stays high, you make less errors, and you rise up in your field.
I hope that worked for you. I hope you were able to follow what I was saying and sharing. And if it didn't, go to our YouTube channel, SmartFit Inc., or just go to our website, smartfitinc.com, and take a look around the website for yourself. Thank you for your time. Take care.